Yeah.
And then in year 8, I somehow convinced the principal to shoot a short film throughout the whole year. So I managed to pull out all my mates from school, and we literally spent fucking like the full year just making a short film. It was a horror. I wish I had it because it's awful. But we literally like took our sweet time on that, eh?
Yeah.
No budget, but no school. Milked it like full year. Like I didn't go to class once. So I was a bit of a teacher's pet somehow, but like not in that way.
Yeah.
So I like convinced him to make a short film, and then like at the end of the year we showed it in the assembly, and it was like all good. And then I somehow got the top student award, and then it was a combined top student award with this academic person, and she fucking hated me because I did nothing, and I was just there making a sick short film. Back then was sick, but I wouldn't call it that now.
Hello and welcome to The Human Now, where we're discussing ideas around what it means to be in this state of time, and more importantly, making positivity louder. My name is Akash, and today with me I have I would like to say somewhat of a genius or mastermind. We have with us a young and talented filmmaker, director, editor, and we're not just saying this out of light. There's things to back this up. He is a nominated New Zealand Artisan Award nominee, right?
Yeah.
For a music video with Troy Kingi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he has just won 2 awards at the New Zealand Vision Feast Film Awards for Best Music Video.
Yeah, for the Sundown.
Sundown video with 660. Mm-hmm. So along with that, he's also worked with pretty much a wide range of talent in New Zealand. If you've seen a music video, it's surely bound to have his name on it. With artists such as, like we said, 660, Troy Kingi, Mellow Downs.
Yeah, Mellow.
OG GSB.
GSB, Swidit.
Yeah, Sons of Zion. Church and AP.
Razor Beezer, all of the Black City crew. Goes on. But yeah.
So
slowly
like,
getting through it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So before we get into that and figure out and find out a bit more about who you are and how you got to be the person you are sitting here, we usually start off our interviews with this question. Do you fold or scrunch?
Do I what?
Fold or scrunch?
Fold or scrunch? As in when you're about to, or it could have been even more than that, right?
Yeah.
Sheesh. I feel like I'm a scruncher, eh?
Scrunch?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, son.
Yeah. I reckon.
Just.
I don't even know what that question means. That's a buzzy question. Shit. I think I'm a scruncher. I'm still going to go there. Yeah. Wait, what are you?
I'm a folder.
You're a folder.
Nice and clean.
Yeah.
You don't want any mess.
Oh, no. All right. Let's revisit that question. I reckon I'm a scruncher when it comes to like videos, because the more crazier it is, sometimes it works out better. Yeah. But in life, I like to be very tidy. So there's life and then there's the vision. So let's say both. How about that?
Cool, man. All right.
Yeah, shit. That's a hard question, man. I've never I guess it's like a pretty straightforward question, but man, I had to think about that for a second.
I'll let this question sit with you, and I want you to maybe in another couple of days to just rethink over it and let me know what you think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. Cool. So, as we mentioned, Connor is a director, video director, editor as well. And he's just making waves in the music industry here in New Zealand. And what we really want to know, and what we want to what I would like to get out of today is just how and why.
And why.
You know, like,
yeah, totally.
Should we start with your purpose, man?
Yeah, the purpose, for sure. Like, I guess, like, the main purpose for what I do is because of just how much I love music in general. Right. I was brought up with a lot of music in my life. Like, my dad was a musician in a band, and there was always music playing around, and I just always got into it. I used to do... what did I used to do? I used to do hip-hop dancing when I was younger, like all of that sort of stuff. Like,
so still got the moves?
Oh, no, I could not. I mean, I'm trying to become TikTok famous at the moment, so maybe it might have to be the next thing with dancing. But I just always had music around, and I always kind of, from a pretty young age, I just knew, like, I need to do something with music. Yeah. So I did played a lot of instruments, and then, piano and drums and all sorts. And I just kind of thought, like, if I'm not going to be a musician, then what's another thing that can still be brought in, like, as a kind of as a thing around music that isn't being a musician. And then just music videos kind of came to me.
Man.
And that's kind of like, I guess, how it all sort of started. But it's kind of like, I guess, like, from being young and making random videos of, like, whatever, that's also kind of, tied into it as well. So I think it's kind of all of that, I guess, that kind of,
How old were you when you picked up a camera?
I would have been, like, probably, real young, probably, like, 11 or 12. Yeah. Maybe even 10, but it was just, like, I guess... There's this funny-ass photo of me, like, on Christmas morning. There's, like, this little, like, camcorder, like, VHS camcorder that I got. And my face is just like... and I'm, like, just opened the present. It's quite funny. But, I guess, like, probably 10, and we used to just make, like, skateboarding videos. And, like, we were really bad. But, like, we put it on YouTube, and we were like, oh, like, this is sick. But... I guess, like, that's kind of when I first started, and then just slowly started making, like, random, like, visual effects videos, which unfortunately is still on YouTube. Like, I don't know, just heaps of random stuff, eh? Yeah.
And how did you... Do you remember when you had, like, that first break or the first moment? Like, how did you get into the...
I remember so I was still in high school. I think it would have been in, like, year 11, maybe. I don't know what form that is, but year 11. And, like, this guy gave me a call. I think I was talking to this dude on Facebook. Do you know Kuka? KVKA?
No.
So he's a hip-hop artist from New Zealand. And, he was living in Hamilton, and he pretty much called me when I was in class, and I was like, stuff this class, I'm going to answer it. So I, like, walked outside without asking, just picked up my phone, and I was like, yo.
In the middle of class.
Like, I don't know. I'm a bit of a rebel. What can I say? Nah. But, I just, like, left class, like, didn't give any care about anything apart from this phone call. And he was pretty much just like, yo, like, dig your stuff. Didn't have anything. I hadn't made a music video before. And he was just like, would you be keen to come up to Hamilton for a photo shoot? So this was before videos was even a thing. I didn't even really know what a music video was. Well, like, kind of, but not like it being like a possibility, let's say.
Right.
And then, he was like, yo, come up to Hamilton for a photo shoot. And I was like, oh, man, like, I don't have a car, I don't have any transport. And then, thankfully, my dad drove me up, and I took some photos of him, and that was cool. And then the first music video that I had done was actually through that. So this other guy from Hamilton called Blaze the Emperor, he called me, and he was like, yo, are you keen to do a music video? And I was like, oh, man, yeah, all right. So that's called Pacific Coast by Blaze the Emperor, if you want to check that out.
Sweet.
It was just like us walking around Auckland City, just like filming whatever they were doing, really, which was real cool.
How old were you?
I would have been like 16, 17 years old.
Yeah, man.
So pretty young. That was pretty crazy. And then pretty much straight after that, I met Razor Beezer, which was pretty epic. And he was like, just straight off the bat, yo, do you want to come film us at Soundsplash in Raglan? And I was just like, oh yeah, mean. So it was like my first like concert getting in as like a filmmaker or whatever. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, made a video for his collective Ammo Nation, which was pretty crazy. And then that was the kind of the point where I was like, man, I could probably do this like as a living, or like try and just like keep pushing at it and keep like socializing or connecting with, you know, like you said before, like, you know, just keep connecting through other
build
people
that network,
and keep
right?
building. So that's exactly what I did. And next thing you know, like Razor's inviting me on tour, like around Europe and China. And I would have just turned 18. And I was like, had to obviously still ask my parents if I could go, like, you know, traveling around the world with someone that they didn't know, but they were thankfully like all chill with it, like all breezy. So yeah, toured Europe twice with him. And yeah, he definitely like was the start, like the big start for like my career, let's say. Yeah.
So what was it like being on tour at that age? And
it was pretty buzzy, like, because it's not like you're going on a what's the word, Kontiki? Is that the word, Kontiki? Does that sound right? It's not like you're
traveling around for pleasure, right?
And like, you know, it's fucking like, am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah, man, you just be you.
It's fucking like crazy because you're like, you're bussing around, you're like not booking accommodation until you get to the city, like, or the country or whatever. And like, show every night. You're not getting home until God knows when, and you're just filming everything. So like, there's definitely some solid archives that I have saved. But yeah, it was pretty full on,
So was there like no need to go to university? And
so I mean, I was always thinking, because, you know, I hated school. School hated me.
Were you always like the rebel child, getting in trouble and stuff like that?
Pretty young, Like I got
detentions.
I got like expelled from a primary school.
For?
I think I just like hated it. I can't fully remember what, but like I think I like just always ran away and like got chased by the principal and shit. Like it was like pretty bad. I just hated school. So like as primary kid, like 5 years old, like just hating it. And then like in intermediate, it was kind of like, like this is pretty shit. And then I somehow convinced the principal to shoot a short film throughout the whole year. So I managed to pull out all my mates from school, and we literally spent fucking like the full year just making a short film. It was a horror. I wish I had it because it's awful. But we literally like took our sweet time on that. No budget, but no school. Milked it like full year. Like I didn't go to class once. So I was a bit of a teacher's pet somehow, but like not in that way. So I like convinced him to make a short film, and then like at the end of the year we showed it in the assembly, and it was like all good. And then I somehow got the top student award, and then it was a combined top student award with this academic person, and she fucking hated me because I did nothing, and I was just there making a sick short film. Back then was sick, but I wouldn't call it that now. But yeah, that was. Well, where did that come from?
I just wanted to know, like, it just because from what I've gathered from just this amount of time that you've just been talking, is that you seem to be someone who creates or carves your own path. Where did that come from? Where did that internal feeling within to even know, like, man, school's not for me, to getting yourself around the world? How have you? Where did you find that?
I guess like, well, my parents were like quite supportive of kind of like, whatever I or my siblings wanted to do. And like I didn't go to kindergarten when I was younger. I went to this place called Play Centre in Napier. I'm originally from Hawke's Bay. I probably should have said that, but like it wasn't like, you know, learning how to like cross your legs sitting down or like, you know, stuff like that. It was like sliding like sliding down a slide full of paint like naked, like just like crazy shit like that. Or like, I don't know if that's crazy, but just like random shit like that, like real creative, like hands-on stuff rather than like learning ABCs. Like obviously they did all of that, but it was more like just like Play-Doh, or like just
learn through play and exploration.
Like, that's it.
Yep.
So like ever since then, it was always just like curiosity and exploration and all sorts. Like it always kind of like, I guess that's way back. Like probably I can't even remember it now, but I feel like that's kind of like where it started.
Do you work for yourself now?
Yeah, self-employed.
How was like that decision going from like maybe this is something that I could do to I'm gonna be my own boss, and what was that process like? Were you scared?
Yeah, it's definitely scary. I mean, it's never easy being self-employed. You don't have anyone to run back onto in a way, like if I'm sick, then there's no money, or no way of living. But money's never been like the biggest thing for me in this thing. I always just wanted to tell stories from other people's perspectives in a way, like, it's kind of like, it's just really fun just to be, not being like kind of stuck down to like just commercial work or just editing. It's kind of like everything, which is really cool.
Yeah, full spectrum.
So I think self-employed is pretty good, but it's definitely wasn't easy to get to this point. You know what I mean? Like countless days just hustling.
What is the hustle?
The hustle is just like making sure that your next week is looking like you've got stuff on. It's that like not that it's kind of like that worrying sort of mindset that you need to just consistently be contacting people or like asking like, hey, like I'm this guy, I can do this for you, let me know if you're keen. And then they, what's the worst that they would say? Like, no, maybe next time we'll think about you in the future, or they just won't reply, and it's not the end of the world. So I like to just constantly email people, and that's actually how I started, just emailing like non-stop, just like finding managers, like artists, and just being like, hey, I'm this, I'm that, I do this, make films, blah-de-da-de-da. And then, if they don't reply, what have you lost? Nothing. You've lost maybe 2 minutes of your life, maybe less, depending how short the email is. But and then if they do reply and they'll be like, yeah, keen, what are you up to for a meeting, blah-de-da-de-da, and then you've potentially got work. So I feel like just connecting full every day, that's kind of like how the self-employed thing kind of worked for me. Because I still do it to this point. But it's cool to do it.
What about like professionally setting up your business and stuff like that? Did you have any idea of what you were doing, or you got help?
Got a little bit of help, but it was kind of mainly just think of a name, like Connor Films. It's my name.
Yeah,
I make films.
Sweet, easy.
Doesn't have to be anything crazy. I guess the videos speak for itself, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But
because so many people can get caught up on like the details, like I don't know how to do accounts. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to set this up. But it's like just
learn and do it.
Man.
Yeah, give it a go. I think that's maybe what in a way sets me apart. Just the fact that I didn't study it. I don't like work on a straight line. Like every like law of lighting or shutter speed or all of that, like it's all just like I just went in and did it, and I just thought like, oh, that looks cool, let's shoot it. Or like there's no time for like, well, in my perspective, this is all different for obviously everyone else, but there's no time to muck around, just get the shots, make it look dope.
Man,
why not?
So what I wanted to know was like, what was it like? And no, actually, let me step back because I feel like we're touching on it. So if there is, like you said, following the rules, and there's no rules, where on the spectrum are you sitting? I feel like you're far beyond that.
I feel like not following the rules is kind of how it all started, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon I'm pretty like obviously there are still some rules that you have to just obviously know on your day to day.
Yeah.
Not speeding, stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, I don't like to think that no is an option sometimes because, there's so many things that you can do that people don't do. And like, it's just kind of like, yeah, just keep going.
So do you feel like, when you're like on set or when you've got an idea for a video or something, you're just, your first thought is always, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I'll just figure out a way to
that's
get it
pretty
done.
much it. Because, like for a video we got coming up soon, I was like, I want them to be in a plane, like flying. And I was like, how? Like that's your first question. Like, okay, well, before I pitch this to them, like we need to know how we're going to do it. So I literally look online, like sort it out, like figure out, like, do we have to like book like an actual plane flying? And then I was like, no, that's ridiculous. And then, I just pretty much somehow sussed a plane, like a prop plane, like a massive full-on plane. From like a school that teaches for like pilots and stuff. And it was just like my initial thought is like, we're gonna find it, but how? Like, how do we do that? So yeah, I guess it's kind of just that's how I roll.
Man.
That's how I like to roll.
I've been told that you like to storyboard or come up with the ideas of your videos and then you go and shoot them or direct them, right? And then you do the editing as well. So I pitched it's like a treatment. So you whip up like just like the idea and the concept and the visual style that you want to kind of take it in, and then you send it to the artist. I do shoot like myself every now and then, but I like to work with a crew now. It's just a lot easier, and with more heads, in the what's kind of the word, like the more people just getting involved. 2 heads better than one.
Yeah, exactly. And like even 10 heads better than one.
Exactly.
Way better.
Yeah, man.
Like on the 660 video we did for the All She Wrote video, there was like, I think we had like 12, 15 crew members, and like I was just like, whoa, this is actually full on. Like, you got like a runner, you got a production assistant, you got a producer, you got a grip, you got a DOP, you've got like everything, like the car wrangler, like to manage the car. And I was like, oh my God, like this is full on. But I mean, working with crews is like a lot better because everyone's got their specialized task, like, that they're trained for. And like it definitely puts a lot of stress off for yourself, not having to like, be a one-man band, because that's how it all started, just being like
doing
running gun, like non-stop, just setting up the lights, doing the camera work, like pushing the bloody smoke machine while still filming, and like I don't know, just like heaps of shit like that. That kind of like, it is fun, and you definitely can create like a lot more doing it solo. But working with a crew is just like, first of all, it's more professional, and second of all, it's like it just gives you more quality kind of output, or like the final is always like a lot more quality, so.
Have you ever felt like you've been out of your depth? Because like going from solo shooter, producer, everything by yourself to like not have been on set with a team, and now you're also working with some pretty big people as well, and there's a lot of responsibility. Has there ever been a moment where you've like been like, oh damn, let me like what am I doing, and how are all these people trusting me? Has that doubt, fear, anything like that ever kicked in, and what have you done?
Totally, yeah. The first video that I did with a full production team was the Troy Kingy All Your Ships Have Sailed video. So like pretty much, I had a meeting with them. I pitched them this idea, and they were like, we kind of talked through it and took out a lot of things, and like changed it up a bit, just because there isn't a whole lot of money in music videos, and I was like, I want him to like be on an island and like boating around the ocean, and like we were like, they were just like, we kind of agreed that maybe not, that's probably not the best way to do it, but yeah, so that was like my first big one with like big camera and like heaps of crew, and like there was like stylists and makeup and bloody everything, and yeah, that was kind of like in that moment, you know, you've got not much budget, so you have to do it in a day. Start at like 10 and finish at 10, like a normal, or no, start at like midday, finish at 10, like a 10-hour day. It had to be a 10-hour day. So like, you know, the crew aren't working overtime. So that's kind of like always in the back of your head. You don't want to disrupt or like kind of make the crew like tired, or make sure that they're eating and like not like just getting sick of it,
burnt out.
So you want to keep that same kind of good energy and good vibes to still like make sure that everyone's working and getting the best results that we can. So like in those kind of moments as a director, there's so many backlash things that's kind of already in your mind, like, you know, making sure that the producer's happy with how the timing's going, like if we're not going overtime, and then there's getting the actual shots for the video. So like halfway through that video, it was just like, I was just like crashing big time, like I was just like, my head wasn't there, and like I was messing up all the shots, like just thinking I was like missing shit, I was forgetting shit. I had a shot list, but it was just like, I guess my head was just fuzzy because it was just like so full on, you know. We had like, how many scenes, like 5 different locations with, you know, different setups, you know, like this lighting room here,
takes
you know,
a lot of time,
takes heaps of time, like
set it all up and get it right.
And like you have to always factor that in. And yeah, anyway, I was just like forgetting shots. There was a scene in this cassette store where Troy was looking at it himself, and it was just like, oh man, my head was just not in it, and it was all about the costume changes. So we pretty much had the police officer as an actor, and then Troy had to put on the same police uniform and get that same shot. So he was replacing all the other people in the video. So already me just saying this is confusing me. So yeah, it was just like quite stressful, just like that sort of stuff. But you know, you kind of take a breather and step out for a bit. And then that's kind of like, you know, drunk some water, just like breathed, just like chilled out, because, you know, it would just get so stressful. And yeah, I just went back in, and then for some reason I kind of just clicked, and I was like, all right, everything's fine. We're nearly there. Like the day's nearly finished. We've nearly got everything done. And yeah, that's kind of my first like freak out.
Man.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy, man.
But wasn't this the video that then went on to?
Yeah, that one. That got nominated. Yeah, at the New Zealand Music Awards. So
how'd you feel about that?
Yeah, well, that was crazy, man. Like just getting recognized for like, I guess, all my work, or like the mahi that I've been putting in, to tell stories for other for musicians. Yeah, it was quite cool. It was an honor. Yeah, it was awesome.
Do you feel like you have like a certain level of relentlessness where? From what I've been told, you've got multiple things going on at the same time. You know, there's some artists and creators who like to just focus on one thing solely.
Totally.
But you've got a mixed bag of things and people, and at different stages. Yeah,
it's honestly like at this present time, like in my life, it's just chaos, you know, but in a good way, like in a way that can be manageable. I like to keep busy, like, you know. If I'm doing a video now, like shooting one, I always like to have one in the works, like in the planning stage. Yeah. So there's just constant work. But yeah, at the moment it's quite cool to like, well, not in like a like in a dicky way, but it's like it's quite cool to be at this point now that I can now start kind of turning down people.
This is what I was going to ask. It's like,
because you know, there's a point in my, you know, back then when I was first starting out, you know, I would do videos for anyone, anytime, any day for free. You know, like it would be like just hustle, just shoot shit. Like, you know, I didn't have a portfolio to show 660 or to show Mellow Downs or to show Swit It, or actually Swit It was like the first like big crew that I first worked with no portfolio. So shout out to them as well. But yeah, it was like, you know, I did everything for free or bugger all money, and like it was just like just a way to connect and do like everything, you know. So yeah, that was definitely like how I started, and now it's got to the point now where I can, you know, maybe if I don't fully the song's not for me, if I can't like get an idea straight off the bat, like listening to it, or not enough budget for like, you know, like to create what they want to, you know, let's say the artist sends me like a crazy idea and they've got like no money. It's kind of like, well, we can simplify it and try it, but it won't, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I can totally understand that. So my background's in architecture.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so we get the same thing with like people who want to design buildings, you know.
Right.
People who want to design like epic ass things, but you ask them like, oh, sweet, how much you got? I go, oh, not much.
Yeah, not much.
You're like, all right, man.
Well, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, but then I guess it also for me it comes back to like what you said before. You know, you figure out what you want, and then you work your way. You still keep that core theme or idea, and you just bring it to that suitable budget.
Yeah, to the suitable kind of.
You know, like
budget.
exactly. It's like, how do we? It's like wearing something. I don't know what the example is. I
get you though.
You know what I mean?
I don't know the example.
It's like you want to drive a Ferrari, but at the end you still need a car, so you've got a car.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's almost like Yeah. I'm trying to think of the right thing. It's not coming. I get you.
If it comes later on, spit it
exactly,
out.
Man. So, like, what's your day-to-day life look like?
Every day is different, eh? Like, each day is like something else, or like, you know, something else to sort out or figure out, or, you know.
Are there any like rituals or habits that you do, or
coffee every morning?
Yeah, get you started and going.
Yeah, just probably that. I've just sort of like my own kind of like, well, not my own, but like a shared office space. So it's pretty epic to not be working in bed or on the couch every day. Because I found like first starting out, you know, you're in your home space working all day, and then you're there again at night. Yeah. So it's kind of like, it was really good to split the home life and the work life. Mainly because, you know, in this sort of work, you haven't stopped working until you fall asleep, because, you know, your phone's there. Most of my work comes through Instagram or comes through emails, which you can do on your phone. And like, you know, there's always those last minute thoughts at like 10 p.m. and you're about to go to sleep and you're like, oh shit, I haven't emailed something to sort that out, or this out, or you know. So, you know, it doesn't end, but I like to get up and go to my office now and work there, and then try and finish as much as I can there, and then go home. Yeah. Just to kind of make it a 9 to 5. But then, you know, there's the shoot days, which are just like long. Yeah. Like, you know, there might be like a sunset and then like a break, and then shoot at nighttime, or like sunrise and then have a break throughout the day, and then you're shooting until like 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. and it's all over the show, but yeah. Is there
anything that you do outside of like film and video?
Not really, actually. It's a good point. Nah, nothing.
Yeah.
Mainly just I like to just chill.
What's chilling?
Chilling is just doing absolutely nothing, like to the point where even just going for a drive is just like chill for me. Chucking on some music and just driving out to like the West Coast or just to a beach and just like
sitting.
Yeah. And obviously scrolling the phone is bad, but I need to get off that stuff. Play a bit of like video games, but I was never allowed a an Xbox or anything when I was younger, actually. I always tried to get one, but I'm so thankful that I didn't to this day. So, yeah, my parents, funny story actually, my parents would never let me get one, but then when my little brother wants one, he gets one. Yeah.
So you're not the favorite.
I'm not the favorite. So, yeah, I just like, all my mates always used to game when they were younger, like full on. I'd go around to their house and like they're like, hey, come hang out. And I was like, yeah, man, let's go to their house, and they're just like gaming with their headset on, like, and I'm just sitting behind them like, oh, yo, I might go home, and they're like, fuck, I don't care. It's like build-ups. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah,
so
I vibe with that, man. Yeah. Like for the longest of times, like the first console that we ever got was like a PlayStation 1. And then after that, that's OG Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then after that, we just never had another video console.
Me, well, that's pretty.
You know,
it's pretty
even
good, I reckon.
All my like cousins and everyone, they had like all the Game Boys, the PSPs, and oh man, I wanted one so bad, you know, so bad, and it's just like, you don't need it. You don't need it.
I think the only thing that we got as like a family was Wii.
Oh yeah,
which is like sick. Like you know, you're playing tennis on a controller, but it's not like playing like Call of Duty or like you know, like the R16 games. But like, you know, my mates, they're only 12 or 13 and they have R16 games. Like at that age, that was crazy. Like my parents would never. But yeah, now I, you know, from last year during lockdown, I bought myself an Xbox. And like I just got hooked on Warzone. Yeah. Like Call of Duty Warzone, like free, don't have to pay for it. And like, to be honest, I really suck. Like I'm not good, but I'm hooked. So I'm playing like so much, getting killed every second, like in the gulag, dead again instantly. But you know, I just keep playing that. It was just something fun to do throughout lockdown, and to this day, I haven't stopped. But yeah, I guess like that's kind of like another way of chilling. Just to
switch off.
Just switch off and like turn the phone on do not disturb and just chill. Yeah.
How do you keep yourself so grounded and rooted to the earth from, in the sense like you're working with these, like you've hustled your way to where you are, and you're working with some people who are in the spotlight, you know, and on some sort of level. Like, man, there'd be people who could just be like, yeah, look at me. I'm doing this. It's like a big show and you put it out there. But from what I've gathered, man, you're very down to earth.
Yeah, I got this thing with me, which people are like, nah, fuck that. Like, you gotta like show off and shit, and or like just show like, you know, I don't know, like fucking be proud and shit. But I am proud of myself, but I'm not like.
Not a show
like,
pony.
I don't like to like, you know, if people ask me like, what do you do for a job? I'm like, oh yeah, I like make videos. I don't get into detail. It's not something that's necessary.
Right.
I feel. Yeah. Because you know, there's also that whole tall poppy kind of thing, which I don't think really happens in the film industry because everyone's all love, you know, it's all like supporting everyone. Like, you know, when Devin drops a video, I'm like, fuck yeah, that's dope. When Tom drops a video, it's like, fuck yeah, that's dope. Yeah. And it's like really cool. It's inspiring to see, you know, everyone doing their own thing. But yeah, I guess like if I were to, let's say like go like to the hometown and you're like, you know, you're with like people, you see people and like, you kind of get that feeling like, you know, I'm doing huge shit. Yeah. And they're like, you know, not really. Yeah. That sounds so dicky. But yeah, sometimes it's kind of like you kind of get that feeling. But I don't like to brag. I don't like to flex, if that's the right word. Yeah. I just like to just carry on, keep doing what I do. And yeah, because it's not always about me. It's about telling a story for the artist. Yeah. You know. Yeah. No matter what it is.
Yeah, you're more the instrument to help.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's like the video and the music, they're like the perfect combination. But I'm just there to just do it and not really, don't want, you know, fame from it. I'm not trying to be the spotlight, like you said, like the artists themselves. They're trying to push to be big, you know. I'm just trying to push to just keep doing what I love and just keep, you know, working with new artists and upcoming artists and big artists, maybe.
Do you think you'd like to be the person who like inspires someone else?
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean? Like you're talking about going back home and things like that and coming across as not wanting to be dicky or anything. But do you think actually, in reverse, it's like, when I do go back, it's like, if I'm doing this, like everyone else can be doing it too.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. I love like the thought of people taking me as like inspiration or like wanting to like get into video from watching my work or like anything that I've done. It's really cool. Like I've done heaps of like like teaching in Hawke's Bay.
Oh, really?
So I got asked to go down to this high school, not my older high school. They wouldn't give a fuck. But, like another school down there, Havelock North High School. So I went in just like last week actually.
Yep.
I went down and taught year 10, 11, 12, and 13. They were all in the media class.
Yeah.
And I just went in and just like showed them my work. Like some of them like were like really intrigued, like were like, whoa, like this is cool, like ask heaps of questions. Others were like mean free period, just watching videos. That would have been me in school. So I was understandable. I wasn't like, oh, hey, listen. So that was really cool. It's quite fun to like, I was just like explaining like the whole process of how like a music video works. And then, the next day after that, it was a full day. I got asked to go to a university down there and do a 2-hour lecture, just like explaining what I do and like the possibilities around working in the film industry. And it was pretty full on, like just talking about myself for like 2 hours, in front of like 21 to 32-year-olds. But, it was really cool, and it was quite an eye-opener to say, like, I then, like, pretty much got them to... Did that camera turn off?
Yeah.
Or was it taking photos?
What's it doing?
I'm trying to remember where we're at. Oh, yeah. So, are we good to go?
Yeah, we're good. So, with things like with the podcast, things are always gonna happen, and for me, that's like the best example of being human. There's no perfection.
There's no perfection. Nothing's perfect.
You're talking about lecturing.
Lecture.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. So, it was just really cool. Like everyone was really engaged. There was lots of questions, lots of ones that got me on the spot. Like, I was like, oh shit, that's a fucking really hard question in my head, and I had to. So I played a video for, it was a Mellowdowns video. Yeah. And it was about problems around money, and like broken families and then, abusive dad and stuff like that. And it was like that was kind of what the song's about, from Mellowdowns. And, I had the idea of, showing a guy like robbing a dairy and like bringing it home and like going home to like an abusive family, or like abusive dad. And it was all acting, and it was all like, kind of based around, it was just, I guess, a good story and quite a strong video that would relate to the song. So anyway, I played it, and someone put their hand up and they asked, do you ever feel like you shouldn't be creating videos, about this sort of stuff because you're not Māori or Pacifica? And I was like, holy shit, that's quite hard. And then they're like, do you think you're kind of overstepping lines and stuff? And I was like, oh, that's a pretty damn hard question.
Yeah, man.
But I then said like, like I do feel like that sometimes, especially around here, but I always like to check with Mellowdowns, like, should I be doing this? Like, should I be directing this video? And he said, well, like, it's not your story, it's mine. Like, it's about, this is about the song that I've made. And so, I feel like that, it was a pretty hard question, maybe,
man,
like
that's tough.
Pretty overstepping in a way, but it was good to like say it, and everyone was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, because it's not my story, and I'm just there to make it dope, or make it possible, I guess. So it was quite hard, but
man,
it was good. Good to like have a little wake up, like, shit, all right, people can ask questions that are gonna hit you. I love hearing how you're doing what you love, and then like you haven't just followed the one path that's been set out, where everyone goes, I'm going high school, uni, work, learn all of this. It's like, man, the man's didn't even go to uni, and he's gone back to do a lecture. If you think about it, there's all these people who are sitting there wanting to learn from someone who's not even done this. I know.
So isn't that like,
it was pretty,
what are you doing?
It's pretty wild, because in there they were like, everyone asked like, did you study? And like I was like, no. And they were probably all in there like, fuck, there goes $30,000.
Exactly.
No, but I guess like it's not about how talented you are or like what cool equipment you have. It's about, your mindset and how you just
your resourcefulness.
Just go for it and just chase it,
Yep.
Rather than like the comfort of, still studying film and still, just kind of like easing on into the industry rather than just going head straight, again, straight through some.
Yeah, just send it.
Just send it. Just the most Kiwi way of it, eh? Just send it. Absolutely send it. So it was pretty crazy. And then at the end, it was quite cool, actually. I promise EIT I won't steal your ideas, but I played an unreleased song to the class, and then I said, all right, get into groups and come up with your own concept or treatment around the video. And like gave them 10 minutes. I played the song on repeat, pulled the lyrics up, and they wrote down ideas, and then I like got them all to come up and present them to the class. It was quite funny. I was like, oh man, I could not be a teacher, right? Fuck. But no, it was cool. Like, they all kind of like talked through the groups, and like they then presented their ideas to me, and it was cool to like kind of talk and like bounce off each other. Like like I said, I'm not going to steal your ideas for the song, but it was just cool to like see, I guess it was just a cool task for people to kind of do.
The way I like to think about ideas and concepts, like before like I think of them as everything's kind of like a remix, right? You pick it, you experience the world outside, and you take these in and you formulate them in your head, and that's how you end up designing something.
Totally.
Is that the same for you? Where do you get like your ideas and your inspirations from?
Inspiration's just from like anything, eh? Like even just hearing the song title or like reading the song title. Sorry, not hearing it. And hearing it, actually. What am I talking about? Just both. Like even like the song title will be like, whoa, all right, let's do this, let's do that. And like lyrics, and even just like going for a walk outside sometimes can be like, you just see like a cool location, and even like, or just like see like a brick wall, and you're like, oh, that would be perfect. Like every time I'm driving or anytime I'm doing anything, it's all just pivoted into videos or like what will look cool. So like, it's kind of weird, but I just drive around. I'm like, boom, boom, that's sick. Let's keep like, I don't know, random ass, but that's kind of how I like to look at life, just through like the more visual thing and like what will look cool in a video. So.
Do you feel like you're pretty opinionated about like when you see things, you're like, oh, I like this, I don't like this? Yeah. And do you think it's okay to have that?
Totally. Yeah, I think it's okay to have that. There's definitely, like on a shoot, like if the DOP who's shooting it, has a shot and I'm not a fan of it, I don't want to be a dick, but I like to say like, oh, can we like fix it up or like change the angle, or like I like to like still be quite hands-onsies with the whole shots and getting the shots done, but obviously they're doing their thing. That's what they're hired for. So I'd like to like say it in the nicest way possible. But
how do you have those conversations, man? Like the ones that you like
that you don't want to have.
Yeah, exactly. Like if there's something that looks like just real mud, and you're just like I know if I just say something. Yeah, it's gonna be better.
Sometimes it's hard to like if an artist wants a real like a shot, right?
Yeah.
And already, it's just gonna be fucking trash.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, we'll shoot it anyway, and then it never makes the cut. But we shot it. It's the thought that counts, or doing it that counts, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess it was like, I can't even remember who or what, but it definitely happens. But sometimes it looks cool. You got to give them, some shout outs on that, because sometimes it looks dope. But there's definitely times where I'm like, I already know that this isn't going to make the cut. Like, I already know.
But you got to do it anyway.
Got to do it, yeah. No, I don't think I've confronted anyone to that point, eh? Maybe if we're going like way over time and it's like late as fuck at night and everyone's like done, and then someone goes like, oh, we should do this shot. And I'm like, nah, we're done. No way. But
in general, are you a pretty just like happy, relaxing kind of guy, or like do you switch up and like you're there to get the job done? That means boom.
Everyone says on set that I'm pretty chill, but in my head I'm stressing the fuck out.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a bit of both. I reckon it's kind of like, I'm pretty chill guy, but if something like pisses me off or like, I will get mad, you know, but it hasn't happened yet on a video shoot. Nothing like crazy's happened. Well, crazy shit has happened, but I've been chill, so maybe I am
Crazy
just a chill
like?
guy. Crashed hired van.
Crashed a hired van.
Yeah, I said that weird. Someone crashed a hired van.
Yeah.
On a video, I won't say what, but
yeah.
So that was a bit of a shit show. Like $3,000 worth of repair.
Damn. And we have to remember that's like heaps, and especially when you're working with like the budgets.
Yeah. So it obviously wasn't paid from the budget, and there was a bit of drama about who pays for it. Like, but it's all love. We're all still homies and still working together, so it's all good. But like shit, obviously, like you said, like you can't plan for perfection.
Exactly.
Like some shit is gonna go wrong. Like, well, like that's. I was saying, like at the class, actually, I was like, always expect what you're not expecting. Oh, something happened? They playing up.
And do you know which one's been good? The problem child.
Yeah. Oh, no shit.
The one that's always mucks up is the one that's like being all good, and both these other ones
crack up.
It is what it is, man. But
I
love that it's happening with you because you understand.
Yeah, I get it. I get that. I get
Like,
that life. Don't you worry. I was just gonna say, at the lecture, I was like pretty much like saying, always expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
And I was like, I told them about the crashed car, the crashed van on the shoot, and I was saying like how shit it was, and then I was pretty much just like, it doesn't mean that you're gonna crash a car every shoot, but just expect like maybe something could go wrong if you're not fully like you can't prepare for that. I didn't know that was gonna happen. So yeah, there's always stuff like that you kind of have to think about in the back of your head also, just like if something looks like it's gonna be dodgy or gonna end up bad, then you should just. Sometimes I do carry on with it, but I do like to always make sure that everything's safe and nothing can go wrong.
Do you see yourself as somewhat of a leader, visionary, or entrepreneur?
As like a leader?
Yeah.
Nah, I feel like we're all kind of like just on the same level, like.
As in terms of like yourself as Connor.
Oh yeah, I like to think that I'm doing well for myself. Yeah. And stuff like that. And I guess I'm pretty like, it's pretty mind-boggling to like kind of know or like to sometimes think, because I don't always kind of look back and think of what I've done. It's always more looking forward than looking in the past. So I don't always have that kind of time to like be grateful for like what I've done and like who I've worked with and stuff. It's kind of like I just like to keep going forward. So I don't know when or how, but I would like to, someday, just like look back and just like kind of just think about all the stuff that I've done, with my age, and just like left and kind of just like just went straight, like ran it straight.
Yeah.
Because even moving up here was pretty crazy. Like it was just like, didn't know anyone up here, like no one.
So
probably
you left
like a
home
few artists.
and
left home, moved straight up here, moved into a flat of like some mutual people that I kind of knew. Literally moved up with just a suitcase, and then like from there you kind of just I just started working non-stop. But it's definitely, you got to take that risk before you want to, like, if you're really like really real about it, if you really are that passionate about what you do and you believe in yourself, like moving into a different city is scary. And since I wasn't going into university or like, you meet a lot of people around university, but going in solo, freelance, self-employed, it's like a whole nother thing,
Yep.
You got to actually go out there and like meet people and stuff and connect, which isn't easy, but here we are. So it's kind of like,
if this is Connor now, you're 22?
Yeah, 22.
What's ahead of you, man?
I don't know.
Like, is there like do you have not like a list of things and not like this one thing, but are there things that you would like to do or explore? Yeah,
there's heaps of things I want to like still kind of do. That's being like writing a short film or like, creating something a bit more like longer format, maybe even a feature. But that's like a whole nother thing, you know?
That's why I love like MJ's videos,
Yeah, totally.
you know, because they weren't like music videos.
Nah,
they were all
like,
short films.
They were like set in like some really cool shit, So yeah, maybe something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe go like more overseas and like connect with more like US artists and stuff.
Is there anyone in particular that you might want to work with?
Well, like I've been connecting with lots of directors from the States who are working with like huge
Names.
people, like everyone pretty much. So yeah, I'm hoping to go there and just like meet with people, not necessarily work with people straight away, but at least kind of restart what I started here and do it in another country. I think that's probably the best way to do it. Just try and maybe just become a runner on a set on like fucking who knows, but
just get your foot in the door.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Maybe once COVID chills out, if it ever will. Yeah.
Was that hard for you going through
COVID? Yeah, it was pretty buzzy. The first one was alright. Just kind of mean, no work, just chill. But then like when the Auckland keep going up and down, and it's kind of like, oh fuck again, like 2 weeks, fuck. Yeah, it definitely takes its time, But yeah, I made this video for the police, which was pretty buzzy.
Oh yeah,
they were doing like, I saw this competition they were running. It's like, make a video about COVID-19, and we'll pay you, and if you win. And I was like, fuck me, right? So I got my flatmate to be in it, and it was just like what you can do during COVID. It's online as well. It's pretty good. But it was pretty much just like, it was kind of like duplicates of him in every scene, as if he's kind of like losing his mind, but in like a civil way. So he was like playing chess against himself. He was like doing all sorts, and it was just kind of saying like, you can play games, you can just like chill out, make sure to wash your hands, etc., etc. It was like real straightforward, but yeah, they liked it, and they put it up online and stuff. So that was quite fun. Something, I guess, to do, keep you occupied during lockdown. Yeah, because it was pretty a weird time, right, for everyone. For everyone. Everyone was like, just.
I was finishing my uni thesis in that time.
True. Could you do it from home?
From home.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, just everything on the computer and
that's good.
Making stuff. So for me, it was kind of nice.
Yeah,
it was
totally.
Like finishing up last year, and just everyone's at home as well. So what have I got to lose?
Lovely. Oh, that's good then. Fuck yeah. I feel like it was scary though. Yeah. It's like, damn, like COVID. It was like a joke at the start, you know. Like it's all just like, oh yeah, COVID. It's in another country. There's no way it's going to come here. And then boom, we had like 1,200 cases, like all around New Zealand. Like it was crazy. I was like, there's no way I'm catching this thing. Like mask on, fucking gloves on, go in the supermarket. It's like a bloody risking your life out here just to get some fucking groceries, man. But not really. It wasn't actually that bad, eh? Nah. But just imagine catching it, eh? You'd be that one guy that everyone hates because he has COVID-19. It's like spreading it around. Fucking, what a fool. But it was all good. Now everyone in New Zealand, I'm sure, is grateful. To be living here, eh? Because
I think we live in the best place on the planet, man.
Word, yeah. We're lucky.
We can drive out and we've got just the most beautiful
nature.
Bush,
and it's crazy.
The ocean is right there.
It's unreal, eh? And like,
and nothing that can kill us.
Yeah, and nothing apart from nothing, nothing. There's some creepy crawly spiders, but they ain't gonna do too much.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
Is there anything you feel like we haven't talked about, or that you want to talk about or explore?
The fact. It's probably not something that we can continue talking about, but it's quite a funny start to it all. Yeah. When I was planning to leave high school, I went to my dean and I told him that I was dropping out, and he was like, "If you drop out, you're going to become a rubbish truck driver for the rest of your life." And that was like, really? I told him that I wanted to go chase film and video, and he came back with that. So it was kind of like, fuck. Well, fuck you. I'm going to just go do it and just prove you wrong. And then a year later, I got asked to go back to my high school and talk in front of the school. Yeah. And I was just like, I didn't do anything. And I should have been like, fuck up yours. I'm coming back to talk about film a year later after you just said that I was going to be a rubber truck driver. Nothing wrong about being a rubber truck driver. I feel like that would be my next, one of my next jobs. Fucking cruising around on the back of a truck. Just
man. listen to your tunes.
Listen to your tunes. Fuck, why not?
Yeah.
Did a video on it.
Yeah, word. Fuck yeah. That was a cool video as well.
It was.
What song is that for again? The one with Future, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was solely your that was not solely your motivation?
No, it wasn't
right?
the motivation, but it was kind of like something else to kind of give reason to it.
Eh?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. That was something else, eh?
Yeah.
So
I love that, man. I love that you
Yeah.
stuck it to him, and
yeah, I was like, he's not gonna stop me or make me like stay in school because I hate school. They're not, they only cared about rugby and like maths or academics, so they didn't like have they had like design class, but I was pushing for like the 3 years that I was into. I was pushing for at least a photography course, and they wouldn't do that, or like there wasn't any media, or like there was ICT, which was just I just did it to get easy
Excel
credits.
spreadsheets.
Yeah, it was just like make a PowerPoint on Microsoft PowerPoint, and you get 12 credits. And I was like, fuck, all right. You don't get excellence or merit or anything.
Yeah.
You just get standard achieves. But fuck, that was all good for me. I passed level 2 NCA, and I was out of there quicker than fucking lightning.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I love it. I love it, man. I love.
Like, I'm not hating on school, but
exactly. But it's not your cup of tea.
It's not my
So
cup of
when you
tea.
know it, and you
what's
know
the point
it
of
so
staying,
much, exactly, man. There's like no point to stay somewhere where you are not enjoying it, man.
Yeah,
because
some people like that comfort, like that having somewhere to go, but then they're kind of like, then after high school they go to uni, but they don't know what they fully want to do, which is fine. But then they kind of tend to party up, and
exactly, man.
years go by and they're shit. 4th year in uni, I better actually like.
Are you the party type?
I was back in the Bay, but not really anymore. It's kind of like I should be in my like prime party time right now, but I think in Napier you kind of like, or everyone around you tends to drink really early. Yeah. So like, we were going to parties at like 15 or 16, just like getting wasted. Yeah. Well, not wasted, but like sneaking like a couple beers and and then like 17 to 18, it's just bad, fake IDs, getting in everywhere, like blah da da da, causing a bit of ruckus down in the Bay.
Up to no good.
Yeah, up to no good at all. And like the drinking culture, not as bad as Dunedin, but it's pretty bad down there, right? Because everyone's like just parties every weekend, like it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I've definitely faded off that. Like I can't like booze up or like drink heaps anymore. Yeah, definitely not for me.
More about your work. Is that why? Like you're more about
because
just like I think over that part of life.
Yeah, just for me myself, I just like thought like I'll have a drink, I'll have a whatever, but I can't like get a box and start doing like funnels and shit like that. Nah, it's not for me anymore. Eh? Like I just first of all, like the hangover is just not worth it. Yep. Like I'd rather go to a party and like have like a few and be all good the next day. Like I went out last night, I'm not gonna lie, drunk quite a bit, and this morning I'm not feeling too 100%. So I'm about like 60 to 70. Yeah. So yeah, it was a bit of a regret because I was like, shit, I have that podcast in the morning. This is gonna be tricky. So got my coffee and we're away. But it's definitely not for me, eh? Yeah. Kind of been there, done that. What about you?
I don't drink,
don't
man.
Drink.
Nah.
Look at that.
Grew up in a pretty traditional household. Like growing up for us, like drinking and going out was kind of not like my mum's thing.
Yeah,
so,
which is fair because.
But that's not to say that we didn't want to be out and doing things.
Totally.
We did that, and then same thing. I was just like, oh, it's not really my scene. Nah. You just.
Yeah, that's kind
going out. You get home and man, I'm a little bit tired the next day, and that's my weekend. Surely I could be doing
something more, right?
And
totally.
And so my weekend switched. We'd be out. Would be like I'd be shooting videos with my mates who are hip hop dancers and stuff like that, and just creating stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing, eh? That's what you got to do. I feel like that's just far more worth your time than just pre-drinking or going out or then feeling like shit the next day and staying in bed all day, etc.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, 100%.
Cool. Well, before we round off, we always like to finish our sessions with these 2 questions. Yep. So, Connor, I want to know what it means to be human.
I think being human is like just kind of like Oh man, that's such a hard question.
Why is it hard?
Because everyone's doing their own thing.
Yep.
In life as a human.
Yep.
You know, in their own way, shape, or form, in their own way,
Yep.
shape or form, in their own way, shape or form. That sounded really weird to me for some reason. So yeah, I feel like being human is just like being who you truly want to be, no matter what it is, in any kind of thing. And I reckon like, yeah, it doesn't matter who you are, but as long as you're proud of your own human or yourself,
Yep.
I feel like that's like the most important thing that everyone should be proud of, just to be a human.
Yep.
And to be on this earth and to be, you know, blessed with whatever you've got or whatever you're doing.
For sure.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Sweet,
what it
man.
means to be human.
And what do you think it means to be now?
To be now, I feel, man, these are tricky.
How come? Why are they so tricky?
I don't know. I guess
It's just something you don't think about?
I just
or?
don't think about.
Yeah.
But right now I'm thinking about it because it's just been asked to myself. So I feel like, yeah, being now is like being in the present, like living in the moment, not looking at old photos on your phone or like looking in the past. I feel like, you know, just concentrating on like right now rather than an hour from now or from 2 years ago or 10 years ago or 10 years ahead. I feel like living in the moment is really key to like actually enjoying life and not letting it slip away on you. And that's, living.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's always those every now and then thoughts of the future or like what you could have changed in the past or whatever. But no, I like to live definitely in the present or live now.
Sweet,
like
man.
live in the now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sheesh.
Oh, yeah.
My question is, do you feel like, because I'm the same sort of industry, do you feel like being in the film industry makes you more present in the now? Because you have to concentrate on what's going on now, even though you have a huge vision of your video. If you miss that shot in the now, you miss that shot, it's gone. You can't get it back. Do you think that helps keep you in the now? Because like from talking to Tom and you and other people we've talked to in the industry and obviously us having experience in it, I feel it makes me more in the now because you can't miss that. You can't miss the thing that's in front of you. You can't miss that brick wall. You can't miss that awesome location. And if you're not thinking about something, you'll miss it.
So I just quickly repeat what Rahul said, just because he's not on the mic. But what you're saying, does being in the film industry help you to be more in the now?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. You know, if you're not thinking about something specifically, or like you're not thinking, you know, about a video or something, in the now, then like you said, you'll miss it. You won't be able to ever see that again. So I think like looking around, like keeping always occupied with whatever is definitely a key in the film industry. Yeah.
Sweet, man. Well, I just wanna thank you so much for taking some time out to come here, share your energy, share your time, and
thanks for having me.
Your journey.
It's a good little yarn.
Exactly, man. Like,
it's
man, I'm just looking forward to like seeing who you are not only in the next year, but like, man, just to see how this guy transforms and who he becomes in like 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah, we'll see, We'll see.
Bruh,
see
big things, I feel.
Fingers crossed,
But just what I see is someone who just loves to do what they do.
Yeah, totally, without a doubt.
know?
Yeah, definitely stoked with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's cool to just come in and chat, you know.
Yeah, man. And
fellow...
would love to have you back on in the future anytime, because
100%.
our whole thing is about growth, and to see growth and change is the best way to communicate what you do, why you do it, and who you are.
Yeah.
You know, so...
Keen as. That's us.
Perfect, man.
Boom.
Thank you so much, Connor, for coming along. I've learned so much. I feel so energized and just ready to like do something.
Yeah, totally.
And what I've taken away is that you are one of the best examples that I've seen for someone who's just like, man, just like stuff the system that's not working for me. I'm going to go and find my own. And if there is none, I'm going to create it.
Totally.
So thank you for being that for me. And for the work you do, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're putting out some good stuff. You're
Okay.
creating vibrations and waves, and we appreciate that.
Yo, I appreciate you. Thank you,
Cool.
bro. Wicked.
So I just want to thank you, whether you're tuning in, whether you're watching, whether you're listening. Thank you so much. Where can people find you, Connor?
You can find me on Instagram. My user is CNRPR. And my website is Connor Films, CONNOR, not ER or one N or however other people spell Connor. So CNNOR films.co and not .nz because I couldn't afford the domain. So
I love it, man.
that shit was expensive.
Yo.
So I managed to start a little connorfilms.co and everyone's like, .nz? And I'm like, nah. So yeah,
love it.
connorfilms.co and CNRPR on Instagram.
Oh man, the man is so OG, so original. And now you're all done. I just got to do this outro. So what I do want to say is that if there's anything that you'd like us to talk about, if there's anything that you think anyone else we should get on, please do write to us at info@thehumannow.co.nz. Yo. And with that being said, look at that, the man's left the stage. With that being said, until next time, be human, be now. Boom.